now that you've taken that big leap and you've migrated to BI 2025, the next thing you want to do is keep that environment pristine. You want to keep it lean and clean, as Bruno said earlier. Keep that to prevent future content from excessive growth, you know. So we're looking for a lean and clean platform. How do you get there? Guess what? Well, there's a couple pillars that we have to share with you, that proven strategies, components, supporting prerequisites. You know, what do you need to do to get this initiation started? Initial cleanup. There's a source analysis phase, a governance policies that need to be established, and again, backup and disaster recovery strategies. The first thing, right on, make sure that the initial cleanup and ongoing maintenance is driven by good snapshots, and we recommend those snapshots that should be created on a daily basis, regularly, in other words. But we recommend daily backups. Again, I'll say it once, I'll say it 10 times. Make those backups happen frequently. It's
Don't
your
do
safe.
it without a solid backup.
It's your
Do
safety
not.
net. And with the object level, the ability to restore at object level, you cannot go wrong. So initial cleanup, you know, reclaim as much storage space as practical. And I showed you a good suite report that'll give you that information. So we can leverage the impact analysis reports, again, referring to those Webby documents. Biggest space consumers, seldom unused reports, and of course, Webby documents saved with data. The backup should be run according to your developed backup and disaster recovery strategy. And strategy, by the way, is develop one. Take some time to actually develop one. So that's pretty much what this slide is all about. Source analysis, large volumes of content and stored data has origins in a few likely sources. If those sources are allowed to remain active, the space will, of course, degrade. The waste will continue to compile. One of the biggest places to look for this waste is recurring instances in both the public and the inbox documents. Recurring schedules create instances constantly, and they're constantly being pushed to public folders and inboxes. These are really good two sources to focus on first in your ongoing cleanup strategy. And again, the Webby documents saved with data. We've talked about that one already.
And Kevin, it's just to share to the audience for, we support a lot of customers to do some cleanup, to do an evergreen. See, we have a very large bank that's got definitely over 10, or that had over 10 terabyte of file store. I think
Yeah,
it's actually a lot more
yeah,
than 10 terabyte. And, as usual, 60% of the content has not been used. They also have a high cost of storage because,
yes.
they're regulated, so they need to store. So the storage itself has got a very high financial impact. One of the challenges for them as well has been, they need to keep data for 7 years for certain things. And after that, perhaps they should not be keeping it because their regulation says 7 years, and sometimes you should not go beyond that because after that, you need to justify why you have that. So I think in their case, anyway, we've supported to do some cleanup of, I think maybe 80% or so. So there are a lot of tricks. I mean, it requires some work to do that. But 360 will be supporting the tools to do that. Or another good use case is if you're going to PC, well, it's t-shirt side based, so do some cleanup before on that. So we have many, many stores that we can share. And probably in the follow-up, we have a documentation that we've put together that we'll be sharing that is far more detailed than these PowerPoint slides.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and I know you're actively involved on that,
Mhm.
Kevin.
Yep, governance policies. We talked about them before. Start one. Start your governance policy, your strategy. Start it now. We have some automated tasks that can process bulk and run on a regular basis. The frequency is, of course, selected by you, but frequent is definitely the key there. So monitor your recurring schedules. Are they needed? How much output are they producing, especially in those inboxes? This is stuff that can be controlled with the suite. Inbox cleaning, based on the age of the instances, this can be this can be controlled automatically with the suite. And remove those inactive accounts. I mean, if you've got a bunch of users that left the company and they still have BO presences, it's a good time to inactivate them and clean them. So let's go to the next one. There's a
Doke.
governance
That's
policies
right.
continued. Yeah. Again, I purge Webby documents on a regular basis, and I've showed you how we can do that on a regular schedule. Duplicate documents, yeah, we can track duplicate documents in your system. It uses an MD5 checksum that recognizes identical document copies. It has a way of, sorting and determining what is really a duplicate copy. Why do you need 10 copies of the same report? They're probably all or have different names, slightly different names. An example is a big habit is folks will save documents as document name underscore old, document name underscore old 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all duplicates. Why do you need them? Well, so reduce the Bob J recycle bin retention. It's a space consumer. We select a retention of probably 2 days. Why only 2 days? Well, because 360 Suite has the ability to collect that recycle bin content, and 360 Suite acts as the recycle bin for the business objects recycle bin, as I said before.
And here, I don't know if you see my browser here is I just put a link in the chat. That is actually a link to our website, and then you can actually get an ebook about how to clean up. That's the one that I've mentioned that is extremely detailed. And that's what we use pretty much. That methodology is what we are using and our customers are using. So, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking again. You're on BI 2025, best practices now. Now is your time. If you haven't had one before, now is your time to implement a backup and disaster recovery strategy. Critical in the event of any kind of unknown happenings. Frequency of the backup is incremental in nature. The first one is, of course, going to take it's going to take everything, but then subsequent runs of that backup are incremental, and they will complete a lot faster than the first one. We recommend a daily frequency, at the daily frequency, or maybe the possibility of doing this at the end of each work week, running that backup again. Backups are permanent by design. Objects will be available for recovery, provided that backups aren't manually manipulated. So you need to choose how many historical copies are kept. Again, we back up at the object level. You can control how many backups of each object are retained. Is it one or two, or do you want 6, 10, 12, 18, 20? It's all up to you. And the last bullet there, disaster recovery. Bruno's going to show you something here.
And by the way,
Take
here
it.
is we have a YouTube channel where you can go and then you'll see all the recording of today will be on, and there are a lot of content about past webinars, UNV2NX, doing cleanup. So everything is available on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah. Questions?
So does there, well, that was pretty quick, Kevin. Thank you very much. We tried
It
to
was quick. I realized that. That was a lot of
now
information. That was a lot of information, but they'll have the PowerPoint. Gosh, I have stories. I wish I had time for the stories, but I don't.
what okay, well, if you want, you've got a minute or so or two if
Oh,
you want to share a story, but
I'll take one step. I had a customer about a couple months ago. They were doing what? A migration, and they migrated all the content from source A to source B. Um, we don't know what happened, but they lost half of their business objects environment on the source, which was a pre-prod environment. Guess what? They were able to restore that in a matter of an hour with the 360 suite and the object level backups. Very important because we do not know why today, as of today, why that that content was missing.
And then by the way, let's take two questions after, but I hope there is no shutdown. And it's
Yeah,
during one of the
really.
last shutdowns, I recall there is a federal agency that we support, as I think we've got like 17 agencies as customers. And what was actually somebody deleted some content, and I think it was intentional to put it this way. And
No.
the good thing is, anyway, they were able to restore thanks to 360. And we even had another case some time ago as well, where one customer removed some content from the NAS. They couldn't restore, and that was a big issue. So make sure you have a solid
Oh yeah.
backup. We've got like two questions we should take. Any idea how long it'll take for a BI 2025 upgrade covering all these 12 steps? From Pavan. I mean, Pavan, if you can tell us how many documents you have. I mean, let's say, to be fair, are you doing this on your own or not? You know, that's always the question. So, because I'm sure you've got a lot of work to be doing outside of your regular Bobjet administration work. So,
Where's that
we should.
question? I don't see it. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Okay, so he's got 10K documents.
Yeah, I see it
So
now.
how long would you say to do the cleanup, to do the migration with 360, Kevin? Ballpark.
With 10,000
Yeah, with
Webby
360. Mhm.
10,000 Webby documents, um, you it's hard to say really, but I would say in the matter of days.
If you're really using, if you're only doing that, and I assume that you've got, you've got some other responsibilities on that. So,
Yes, assuming that you're doing that constantly.
and
You
then
know,
make
two
sure
weeks
that
is
maintenance is
reasonable.
there.
I'm working with some customers now that are developing, I'm helping them develop their migration plan. And we always say, you know, if you think it's going to take a week, give yourself 2 weeks, double it, you know, that type of thing. Um, I mean, if you're really set on doing this, as Bruno said, 100% of your day, as you know, 5 days a week, you can probably run about 1,000 for it taking Webby repoints, for example. You can probably run 1,000 Webby repoints a day if you're dedicated, maybe more, but about 1,000 a day. So 10,000 if you just for the Webby repoint, that's 2 weeks.
Yeah. And just there, you got 10K documents. We have some customers with 1K documents, some 10K, some a million. So it really just depends.
Yeah,
But of course, that
we
will take
figure
longer. But
on a
yeah,
Webby repoint, we figure about 10 minutes per document. Believe me, I've done it manually myself 100,000 times. I don't even want to think about it, but about 10 minutes per document. Do the math. For 10,000, you're probably talking about 2 months.
200 working days if you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ballpark
Yeah, that's so
without the
my
testing. So yeah.
my estimate's low.
And Sridhar, yeah, just shoot me an email. I put in the chat, and I'll send you the presentation. We have a question from Donna. Has it ever been discussed to add a way for administrators to limit the amount of Webby documents saved for a user's personal folder?
Absolutely. Um, Webby documents saved. Oh, Webby document to a personal folder. You know, they're out of the box. Business Objects doesn't have a way to do that. That's why personal folders can run wild with content and build up to, you know, crazy numbers, crazy counts. So that's
So
why
it's something we support.
that's something we support. Yeah, exactly.
And Donna, we even have some customers, that have that pain because they've been considered, they've had issues with storage, the costs, etc. And we're even able to send out notifications to users saying, your box has exceeded X.
Yeah.
Do some cleanup, and of course, usually you might think that people will do the cleanup, then sometimes actually they don't do the cleanup, so you need to enforce these rules behind the scene.
And Donna, you know that in a production business objects environment, even though it's read only, um, end users can still create ad hoc reports, and it's true. And so you definitely want to keep, especially in a production environment, you want to make sure that you're using some tool to help you manage that content because it'll grow exponentially. It can.
And if you want to get a demo or a tour of Wisdom 360, just let us know. Shoot me an email or contact me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to do it. Patrick, by the way, are there any questions we need to take for CPE
Yeah.
credits or not? Or are we all done with that?
We are all set on CPE
That is
credits. I think
good.
Whoa.
we had 13
Yes.
total.
That is good. I don't see any other questions, but I just want to also to say thank you to the entire Caresoft team,
Yeah.
to
Thanks.
Alina, to Patrick, to Shane, to all the people that have been doing all the calls behind the scene. And it's important to be doing that. And I
Yeah.
just want to say big thanks, high five to you guys. We really appreciate. And also, Caresoft, yeah, thanks for all the support over the past 10 years. And we're a small business and we really appreciate all the help you've been giving us. So over all these years. Well, anyway, that was all. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
And have a great rest of your day. Thank you to all of you. And if there's something you need some questions, shoot me an email and I will make sure, or I will do my best to give you a proper answer. I don't know if I have all the answers. I probably don't, uh, despite what my wife would say, you have all the answers. No, I don't actually. So, joke aside. Anyway, thank you very much. Stay safe, folks, and great to have you. And looking forward to speak to you during the next event that we'll be doing for SAP Business Objects. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you,
Bye.
Kevin. Thank you, David.
Bye.
Thank you, Patrick.
Awesome. Yep. Big thank you to the SAP and Wisdom teams for your insights today. I'd also like to take a moment to thank all of our participants for joining us this morning and afternoon. We really hope this information was helpful to you and your organization. Our contact information, as you see, has been displayed on the screen, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you, everyone, and hope you all have a great day. This concludes today's webinar.